Welcome, guys, to a new episode of the Real Football Talk. I'm your host, Hassan. I have Adil, Famik, and Ruel with me. We'll be discussing the Champions League and Europa League draws. For those of you still watching, haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. And let's look at the draws and get the reaction of our panelists of the first matchup in the quarterfinals. Ruel, what was your take on the draw and Liverpool Liverpool playing Real Madrid in the quarterfinal?
Bit disappointed that we got Real Madrid because I think it's a hard tie. We preferred Porto, but however, in this latter stages of the quarterfinals, no team is easy, and Porto just beat Juventus. However, Real Madrid is going to be a very, very tough game. Everyone, I don't know, in the radio, my friends, everyone's saying, "Oh, we've got an easy tie." No, we're facing the 13-time European champions at the Bernabeu. It will be a good game. I think we might squeeze through. It depends on the day, how on the two legs, how Salah, Mane, and our front three play. If they're up for it, you have enough firepower to beat them. However, it's going to be a very tough game, Hassan.
Do you think it would be as tough as Ruel thinks? Because obviously Madrid are not in real good form, to be honest, and not the Madrid of before.
I think it's a real tough fixture because of the play. I mean, they got the players that believe in this competition. They've turned the corner. I mean, they started the season poor, but they're on a run. They're only, I think, 3 points off top now, or 4 points. Six. I think is that the game in hand, but they've been on a run. So I think that they're really peaking at the right time. I agree with it in extent. Both teams are so similar in their style. That's just going to be interesting because they both like to play 4-3-3. They both like getting the ball out wide and crossing the ball in. I mean, that's their main source of attack, is really that. The difference being Benzema is on red hot form as a 9. He when the ball does come into, he adds a bit of variation, but generally both teams like to go out wide early and play out from the wide. So I think it's going to be an interesting game in terms of similar styles. That's what might make it a bit more boring as a fixture. It might be a bit more of a traditional European tie of chess match, but I think it's tough. Real Madrid got the players who believe in winning this tournament. They got the mentality, and they are hitting form.
Famik, do you think Liverpool not having their actual backline, do you think that will be the issue and maybe the reason why they might struggle?
No, I think if they do struggle, it'll be mainly because of their midfield. Cruz and Modric are just better than Liverpool's midfield. So that is probably where the key part of the game is, because if Liverpool's front three, but mainly their wingers, Salah and Mane, actually turn up, I don't think Real Madrid's defence are good enough to cope with them. So it could just be a smashing, but it all depends on small factors. So if Liverpool get the better of the midfield, Real Madrid will probably lose quite badly. But if it's a dominant midfield performance from Real Madrid, then it'll be a tougher game for both teams. It'll be a tighter affair.
I think the Real Madrid fans will be thinking the same thing as the Liverpool fans, that they've ended up with a good draw just because they're gonna, from Spain or from not really pay attention to the Premier League. They're just gonna see Liverpool are sixth or wherever they are in the league.
Yeah.
And straight away just think, well, they're weak, they've got injuries, we've got a good draw too. So that's why I just think it ended up being quite a good matchup, an even matchup in that sense. And it'll definitely come down to who manages to get their philosophy going.
Who are you guys going for as in going through from that tie? Let's hear it, guys.
I'm going Liverpool to go through.
I think
I hope they don't, but I think it will be.
I personally think that I'm confident we win, even with the with the back line out. And what Fami pointed out is if Salah and Mane on it, they're unplayable if they're on it. But however, he said midfield, and what is key to Liverpool is the quicker that we can get Hendo back to partner Fabinho. Fabinho's now back in midfield, and get our captain, our leader, our engine back in that midfield. Once he's in that team, it's a totally different game. He drives that team. He makes sure that everyone gives that extra bit, that attack. He dictates things. He talks to them, and he's a proper leader. People talk about how much of a bad player he is. He can't play football. He's side to side passing, and but he's the engine. As a Liverpool fan, and if you ask majority of players, if they had Ford Henderson's on the pitches, they would loved it because he works for that team. He makes it tick, and Hendo is key. If Hendo can come back and in the quarterfinals with Fabinho, and Thiago is made for European nights. I don't think he's suited to the Premier League at the moment. He is struggling, and European football is where he's good at. He slows the pace down. He controls the game, and hopefully, if we get Fabinho, Henderson, and Thiago playing with the three up front, I reckon we can get a result. But I can see Liverpool scoring at least one goal away. Might concede, but we will score. But then you come back to Anfield. I know Anfield's not a fortress at the moment in the Premier League, but at European nights, things do happen. Magic does happen.
Let's look across the kind of pond really with regards to Man City, another English team that's gone through. They got a draw with Dortmund. Famik, what was your reaction to the draw, and what do you think will happen in that game?
I didn't want Dortmund to get. I wanted Man City to have an easier run, if I'm honest. I just feel like Man City should get to a final and win it. Well, now, but I don't know how this tie will go because Dortmund are a very, very unpredictable team. They could just as easily win 3-0 as they could lose 3-0. It's just like Salah and Mane, depends on which Dortmund turn up. But I do think Man City will win it. This isn't the kind of stage that Pep makes weird decisions. He'll play his normal team, his normal way. Man City will win. The next round, Pep will make some weird decision, make a change in formation, and you'll see City will lose.
Well, they may potentially face either Bayern Munich or Paris. So PSG might be a problem. Adi, sorry.
I think it's an excellent game for City. Dortmund, their defense is absolutely terrible.
Yeah,
midfield does not control game. They can't play a possession-based game. They rely on their attack, and they miss a hatful of chances unless it falls to Haaland. So I just think it's a really good draw for City because it's not a team that's gonna. They're gonna play open football, so I could see City getting 77 to 80% possession and totally dominating that game. It's about how soon they get their goal. If they get it early, it could be a bad night for Dortmund. This Dortmund team don't know how to defend as a team. Any team that attacks them scores, and they're struggling in the league. They're sixth. And the defending is a joke. So I think it's a very good fixture for City.
Ruel, what did you think? What did you make of the draw? Or how do you think?
I'm disappointed they got Dortmund. I wanted them to get someone like Bayern or Paris, but hopefully once they beat Dortmund, they'll end up being one of them. But I think it's an easy fixture for Man City. Apart from Sancho and Haaland, who there's only two players in that team. Dortmund has to worry about 10 world-class players for Man City outfield. I think it's going to be a wrap. I don't think Pep's going to go into his quarterfinal like he done previously and change things. I think he's going to go out. He's got his. If you notice, in Europe, he plays the similar type of players. In the Premier League, he changes it around. So I think he knows what team he's going to be playing in Europe, and I think it will be a mauling. I think Dortmund might get a goal. But I don't see Man City coming away winning 1-0 or 2-0. I think it'll be 3-4 easily.
It's an advantage that the league is nearly wrapped up for City. they can effectively rotate a bit more and save their better players for the Champions League, and take slightly more risk in their rotation for the Premier League because they've got such a gap now. So I think a lot of signs are good for City.
Let's look at the other Premier League team within the draw, who everyone might think got the easiest draw out of the lot, really. And let's look at Chelsea. Adi, what did you make of it? I mean, Porto, who beat Juventus to come through, so they're not really any easy feat, really.
I think that's again quite similar matched up teams in terms of Porto are super organized, quite defensive in their shape, don't concede a lot of goals, and they're very good on the counter attack. They set up very well to play on the counter attack. So I don't think it's as easy as everyone makes out. It's probably a tougher game for Chelsea now because it's a team that is defensively solid, likes to play on the counter, but also Chelsea will have the pressure of being the favourites and expected to win. So, and that's perfect for Sergio Conceição. He's of that Mourinho making. He's very good with the mind games, very good at getting his team pumped up for these games. So I think it's not as easy a fixture as it looks on paper, simply because Chelsea are a team that scores lots of goals and finishes off their chances, and Porto are similar in terms of their defense first approach. So it's going to be you'd still expect Chelsea to get through, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went to penalties and Porto took it. They're set up like that.
I mean, do you think Porto have a chance then? Do you think
no? I think it will be very similar to how Chelsea beat Atletico Madrid. Chelsea just dominate the game from start to end, and they don't need to score 3 or 4. 1 goal, 2 goals, the tie is done. Porto probably won't get many chances, and if they don't take their chances, the tie is going to be over for them. So I think Chelsea will go through, but they'll win both legs, maybe 1-0, 2-0, and that's it.
I mean, Ruel, let's look at so potentially it could be an English semi-final with Chelsea and Liverpool. What do you make of that potential tie that could potentially happen? Do you think that's a big opportunity for Liverpool to get to the final?
Look, Champions League is, people talk about Champions League, it's easy. It's not easy. It's a hard tournament. And when it comes to knockout stages, right? When it comes to specifically this time, the quarterfinal, semi-final, it's anyone's game, right? Chelsea and Liverpool, if they end up being in the semi-final, it's going to be another tough game. And I think it's going to be a very tight game too. However, Chelsea played us recently in the Premier League. They beat us 1-0. Liverpool were out of form. But European nights it's different. It's different for Liverpool. It's like, Liverpool's won it 6 times now. It's not like that we haven't won it. So we have got that little bit of experience. The team has already, like people like Fabinho, we've got some players who won a couple of years ago, so they've got some experience. Chelsea's going to be tough. However, I can see one of the English teams definitely going to the final, and I can see an English team winning it. It all depends. If Chelsea, gets semis, we get semis, we beat Chelsea, or Chelsea beat us, I think one of the English teams will actually go and win it, because I think it's destined. Istanbul. I think Chelsea. The only thing that lacks in Chelsea's pot at this present moment is the attack. Tuchel's come along. He's made them stronger at the back. They don't concede goals, right? The only area they lack is the cutting edge up front. Who's playing up front? Tammy or Werner? Pulisic. They're still chopping and changing the area until they don't settle in the area, and that could be the area that they may lack. That could be the area where they might fall. But it all depends. I really think I've got a feeling that Liverpool might go on. I'm being bold here. I think Liverpool might go on and go and win it, because at the moment, Liverpool got no defense. Everyone expects them to get absolutely whooped. And I think Klopp, at this present moment, has given up on the league, personally. And I think he will start resting his bigger players, concentrate, and put all his eggs in his basket. And I think I think what people presume that final's going to be, it's not going to be. That's what I think.
What do you think people presume the final is going to be?
But people think it's going to be Man City going or Bayern Munich versus Chelsea or Dortmund. I don't think anyone thinks that Liverpool going to make the final. Personally, do you think, fam, Liverpool make the final?
I think the final is either Liverpool, Chelsea versus City, Bayern Munich. That's the final.
I mean, let's look at the other tie on the fixture list. Really, Bayern Munich versus Paris Saint-Germain. That's the final of last year. What do you make of it? That's the standout tie of the whole.
I think PSG looked better last year than they do this year, and Lewandowski has continued his form, and PSG defensively they've been losing games recently that they shouldn't be losing. I've seen some of their games recently and they don't look good defensively. Also, on top of that, last year, PSG had Neymar playing for most of the tournament. And that's why, that's a factor as to why they got to the final. This season, it's literally all Mbappe. And when he's not playing well, they don't do much. The second leg against Barcelona shows you that. PSG didn't look good, and Barcelona haven't been great this year. And it was the second leg was all Barcelona. So I think Bayern Munich will smash PSG, and will play City, and that's where the ball could go either way, 50-50, whoever wins that.
I mean, Adil, you suggested Paris Saint-Germain under Pochettino, kind of his style and the philosophy suits them in the Champions League. Do you agree with what Hamid's saying?
I think it's a tough draw for Bayern because of the way they play. They play all out attack, leaving two-man back. They don't think about defending anymore. They just overpower teams with their attack. It's a really fast-paced approach, but it's probably the worst lineup to go up against a team like Paris Saint-Germain, who have a lot of defensive midfielders who are happy to drop deep and then play with Mbappe. I think Mbappe's pace against this Bayern defense, I mean, whichever combination, whether it's Sule and Alaba or Boateng and Alaba, I'm saying this Bayern team doesn't want to even defend. Their outlook is all out attack.
I think PSG is just as bad. Just as bad.
But at least their outlook is to defend as a team, certainly from midfield to defense. So I don't think they're going to be as open. I see this as Paris Saint-Germain, if they get the counter-attack going, and Neymar will be back. I just think.
Oh, is he back?
Yeah,
He'll be back.
I heard he started running, or he's close to a comeback. So I just think.
Okay, now I see. Yeah, be more even than
on the counter, I think Paris Saint-Germain can do damage. So I think it's better for Paris against Bayern.
Let's kind of now switch our attention to the Europa League draws. Famik, I'll come to you with regards to Arsenal, being an Arsenal fan. What did you make of the draw, really? Playing Praha, who beat Leicester and Rangers, another two from the Great Britain.
They shouldn't be in the competition anymore, as far as I'm concerned. So the Europa League this season should literally be Arsenal versus Man United in the final. All these other teams are actually just not good. They're not good. Slavia, Praha, Arsenal should smash them. But we also know what Arsenal are like. And Arsenal will win the first leg 3-0, and they will beat themselves in the second leg 3-0, and we'll go to penalties, and it'll be a toss-up. But it's the same as Man United. You don't know. No team in this competition is consistent. Not one. So you actually don't know who's going to win. But on paper, Arsenal, Man United should make it to the final, and that's where it should be decided.
Do you agree with what Famik has just stated, really?
If you look at the draw, you just see Man United and us, realistically. However, like I said,
don't you think Ajax and Roma are a threat?
Yeah. Like I said, regarding Champions League, people, already have their favorites. They know what finals will be. They're predicting. It's anyone's game. I've seen Arsenal play like Portsmouth. Then I've seen Arsenal play like Barcelona. So you know what I mean? So you don't know who's going to turn up. I've seen Man United go and be a top team, and then they go and lose to Sheffield United. So you don't know what's going to happen. I think Man United and Arsenal will end up most likely being in the final. Ajax and Roma, I'm not sure. I don't think anyone's strong realistically. And with the firepower that, if you're looking at favourites, I think Manchester United are the favourites to win it.
Yeah.
If they don't win the Europa League, then it's a failure. It's full stop.
They should be. You don't seem to agree.
No,
I personally think.
I think everyone's ruling out Villarreal, but they've got the serial Europa Cup manager.
Expert.
He knows how to win the competition. Unai Emery, you cannot rule out, and Villarreal is the type of team they play good European style football. And I don't think just the Unai Emery factor, you can't rule him out. The guy's just a legend of the Europa League. He knows what it takes to win. So I wouldn't straight away. Manchester United and us are the strongest team. I think United have got a tough fixture. Granada is like the crazy gang. They got amazing spirit. That's not an easy fixture. I actually think Slavia Prague, even though they've knocked out Rangers and Leicester, I actually do think it's an easy fixture. I watched the games.
Yeah, they are rubbish.
They compete. They're fit. The thing with them is they're a fit team, and they got players who can all put a shift in and put a tackle in. But they lost the first leg at home 3-1 against Rangers. I think it was 3-1, but they lost it either way. So no one can tell me just because they knocked out Rangers, who went down to 9 men, that suddenly Slavia Prague is an excellent team. But the draw's been good for Villarreal as well. That's why I think Villarreal, I just wouldn't rule out. Ajax on amazing form. They play some really good football. Neres is on fire at the moment. So I for me, I think it's going to be Manchester United, Arsenal, Ajax, and Villarreal. I'm tipping Ajax.
Yeah, so it will be
Roma is a resolute. It's a good team
United,
too.
Ajax.
But
because United have the tougher side, so United play the winner of Ajax and Roma.
Roma, yeah.
Isn't that the team that knocked out Tottenham?
Yeah.
That guy who scored a hat trick, he might turn up.
Yeah, fam, he's been turning up.
That performance from Spurs is like, I don't think in the Croatian league they would come up with a team playing that poor.
Yeah. Harry Kane.
That was a no game. I mean, no one turned up for Spurs that. So I think Villarreal have got it easy. Dynamo are the weakest team, and then Slavia, and then Granada is a tough team, but it's the type of team United struggle against. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Are there a team or are there a car?
They played any of the stronger teams because they're more likely to turn up. But against a team like Granada, I can see them getting. But Granada are physical, they bullies, and they play back to Lindegaard.
Because I think Man United were lucky to beat Milan. Very, very lucky.
Yeah, I think Lindelof is going to struggle with the direct play. Granada get a lot of balls in the box, play on the counter. I think it's the type of team United have struggled with all season.
And he might
personally. Go on, Hassan. Sorry.
No, sorry, carry on.
No, it's fascinating because we expect Man United to do great and go to the final. I expect an all-English final personally. I expect an English team to win the Europa Cup and the Champions League. I think it should be both coming home. However, these are funny situations. We all expect. Imagine quarterfinals and Granada knocks out Man United and Arsenal lose to Slavia Prague.
I can see that happen. I could actually see that happen with the.
That's the crazy thing. I can see it too.
No, I can't see Arsenal lose to Slavia in any way. I'll be honest. I really can't.
Really? It all depends.
If Arsenal beat themselves, that's the problem.
I can see Granada beating United because United are I struggle against these type of teams, physical, low block teams playing the counter. But I think Slavia, as well, they're organized. They're going to try and play football. They're going to push
Anyway,
out.
if Slavia win and knock out Arsenal, Arteta should be sacked. That is.
I'm not going to blame William again, fam.
All right. You've heard it here, though.
I'll say it now, yeah.
Playing.
Arteta will be sacked because of him signing Willian. That's it. Doesn't matter.
You've heard it here.
It'd be good if Arsenal versus Villarreal happens anyway.
That's what I'm expecting.
They're coming back. Yeah,
I think that will happen.
I'm expecting.
I thought it was going to happen in this round, but yeah,
what I'm expecting is Arsenal to play Villarreal, Emery to win, and all Arsenal fans and opponent fans telling us that Emery's better than Arteta. That's what I'm expecting. That
you
is
know what?
I'm expecting.
Hassan, I'll tell you another thing. There's going to be goals galore. These ties
Arsenal versus Villarreal.
Yeah, they're going to be goals. every tie's going to have loads of goals.
Nah,
I'm telling you.
I disagree.
I don't think it's going to be
United are going to have that many goals.
Don't you think so?
Nah.
Bruno Fernandes is scoring 4. Watch.
Nah.
2 penalties.
4 pens.
2 penalties. Worldy.
I think the bottom 2 games might have goals in them because Ajax attack and they leave things. Roma are quite defensively solid. They play on the counter. So, depends on how much Ajax go for it. It could be a high scoring game because one team is leaving themselves open. Villarreal will beat Dynamo Cantor. That's going to be a session. And Arsenal Slavia back Prague could be tight.
You don't think, Sheikh, what do you call it, Manchester United would go away to Granada and get 2 or 3 goals?
No.
I'm sure Real Sociedad is better than Granada.
No, but Real Sociedad Real Sociedad do all that attack. They're like Ajax. They leave gaps. They go all that attack. It's the type of opponent. This is the type of team that United has lost points against. It's like coming up against West Brom. United are going to struggle. Granada play deep on the counter, very physical, and they got unbelievable team spirit. I think that's a tough fixture for United.
Thank you, Adil. Looks like our panelists think it'll be an all English final, to be honest, and some of them hoping for
not me
English final in the other one as well, and the trophies coming both of them to England. Really, thank you all for coming on, and I'll see you soon, guys. Subscribe, share, and like our videos. Thank you. 1 second, sorry.
Oh, you messed up.